Hi everyone. I've been wearing my new hearing aids for about 3 weeks now, and overall I'm really fascinated by all the tech, all the power, and all the features that my new hearing aids have. The first few days with my hearing aids were amazing. As I left the audiologist's office and was driving home, I couldn't help but smile and laugh as I was just washed over by this like deep, deep sense of joy. Um, Overall, it has been kind of a mixed experience, and I want to talk a little bit about that today. So, one of the things that I like the most about the new hearing aids is the technology that they utilize. They pair seamlessly with my iPhone and through the Thrive app, which is through Starkey. And in that app, I have access to all kinds of things like volume control, pre-configured amplification profiles for different settings like restaurant, auditorium, mask mode. I can control background noise management, including machinery, speech, and wind. And I also have Edge Mode, which is an AI-powered technology that uses a 10-second clip to analyze the soundscape and determine which sounds are speech, which sounds are not speech, and then use that information to amplify the speech sounds, which is really cool. Additionally, the hearing aids have Bluetooth function, so they can stream audio from my phone calls and music directly into my hearing aids, which is so convenient and almost eliminates my needs for headphones entirely, which is really cool. And just wow, I'm just in awe with how powerful the hearing aids are. All that being said, I think one of the biggest challenges that I've faced is learning to leverage all the amazing settings and technology. I'm really glad to have access to all of the settings and the controls, but it's also challenging to determine which settings I need to manipulate in different environments. So playing with the settings has been really fun, but also sometimes it's really frustrating. When I do get the settings right, I feel really good, and my anxiety around missing out on important information is really just relieved or eased. I've had a few class days in person where I found the right settings, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. I went through class with this level of ease that I don't think I've ever experienced, even before we were wearing masks, which has been a really big challenge for me. I could hear my students clearly, and it was amazing. On the other hand, when I struggle to find the right settings, or I have to keep making a lot of changes when I'm in a setting, it's really frustrating, and my anxiety level kind of goes back up. But learning anything new comes with ups and downs, and I'm really grateful to be surrounded by patient and supportive friends and family and colleagues like yourselves while I'm adjusting and adapting. So thank you to everybody for that. Another challenge in general that I'm facing is adjusting to new hearing aids is something that everybody adjusting to new hearing aids experiences, and that is just my body and nervous system adjusting to the increased sensory input. If you can imagine somebody turns up the volume, or all of a sudden you can see even more colors, all that extra sensory input can overwhelm, overload, and fatigue the nervous system. And so my goal is to follow the best practices and to wear my hearing aids as much as possible in order to help my body and my nervous system adjust to all the new sensory input, but I haven't quite met that goal. The ear mold shape that we have is not quite sitting correctly. You can see right there, it's not quite touching the bottom of my ear. It's a new, different shape from my previous hearing aids. And so I'm not wearing them all the time, but I am wearing them significantly more than I was before, and so I have run into listening fatigue a few times. A funny example is that one day I was getting ready to leave Ontario, and I had, been wearing my hearing aids all day, and someone was talking to me, and I heard them very clearly, but I just could not, mentally make any sense of what they had said to me. And that's classic listening fatigue. The brain is just met its capacity for processing sound and speech, and it just needs a break basically. So like I said, that's a normal part of the adjustment process for anybody who maybe is newly diagnosed with hearing loss and they're just starting to wear hearing aids for the first time, or experienced users like myself who are adjusting to new hearing aids and new settings. It's pretty common. So I found a really great online community where I can share my experiences, and I like have been able to follow a lot of people going through similar experiences, and I'm really grateful for that, and also the way that deaf culture is just becoming more normalized slowly on social media and mainstream media, because that just makes, for me, it makes access to that community easier. Like I had an easier time finding someone to share my experience with than, for example, when I was a kid and I didn't know anybody else that was going through the same thing. So that's been really great. I'm really looking forward to meeting through my audiologist, meeting with her again soon. By the time this goes out in the Bria newsletter, I should have already had that meeting, so that's exciting. But I'm going to discuss with her the struggles with the tech, and I'm going to get my new ear molds, and I'll really share all the ups and downs with her, and she'll help me decide on the next steps. So I think most likely what we'll do is we'll stick with the same model, but increase to the next level of technology available. So I'm in the select brand level of technology right now, and I think we'll go to the advanced level. One of the biggest differences between those two is that the advanced level has more power to reduce background noise, and I find environments with a lot of background noise, be it speech, machinery, air filters, wind, anything, to be really challenging to hear in. So I think the advanced level of tech will likely be a better fit, and we had discussed this previously, that I would start with the select and then most likely need to go to the advanced. So that makes sense. This is kind of going along with the plan that my audiologist had anyway. But if the advanced tech isn't meeting my needs, the next steps we would follow would be to try out a different model or different brand of hearing aids. I switched from the Oticon brand to the Starkey brand for this pair of hearing aids, because I really like the personalization available in the Starkey app, and I was really excited about mask mode and edge mode. And in their current models, Oticon gives the user less ability to change these settings, but relies on an AI technology that has been trained in 12,000 different soundscapes, and uses all that information to analyze and adjust like consistently all the time, which sounds really interesting, but also I'm not positive it's the right thing for me, but we'll find out, or maybe we'll find out. Another difference between the two brands is that the way that the sound is processed and delivered into the brain is slightly different. So it is possible that part of the adjustment, part of the reason why I hit listening fatigue, for example, is that my brain is just learning how to process the sound the way that the Starkey model delivers it versus an Oticon brand. But I'm not sure how much of a role that's playing. So I'm really excited to talk to my audiologist. And I also just found out that Oticon is releasing another new model with even more advanced AI technology. And it looks like they're having a new mobile app come out on March 1st. And that app maybe offers the user more ability to change the settings. So I'm curious about that. That's like a long-term possibility. I get like 30 to 60 days with my hearing aids that I have now to try them out. So I'm really looking forward to getting my audiologist input. I feel like I have the expertise in my experience and I can share that, but she kind of knows what the options are and what the solutions are, and I think she'll be able to help me figure out what's best for me. So in closing, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for your support. I have felt so supported and so just lifted up throughout this experience, so thank you. I'm grateful to everybody in Ontario, because you are the people that see me and deal with this on a regular basis. So thank you for your patience, flexibility, understanding, as I'm adjusting and figuring things out. I also really want to give a big shout out to Percy. Thank you so much, Percy, for working with me, researching options, and figuring out how to make my experience in virtual meetings and teaching virtual classes, both from Ontario and from home, the best it can be, because my hearing aids unfortunately do not pair directly with computers. So thank you, Percy. Thank you, Ontario team. Thank you, Bria. I'm really looking forward to continuing to share updates with you in the newsletters. But in the meantime, if you're interested in more information, following along, getting more details, I'm posting most of my updates on Instagram. My handle is @__Elaine Marie. Please feel free to follow me and kind of follow along and see how I'm doing. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.